Now, there hasn't been very much progress in disarmament issues since the Obama speech, which of course in itself was quite an incredible event. The idea that the President of the United States would seem to be eager to get to abolish nuclear weapons really was quite staggering. So there's been nothing really to match that. So really what we're discussing is what progress there has been towards that goal. And the answer is not very much, because the NPT conference, for example, the conference to review the operation of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, was seen to be of great importance in relation to Obama's vision, but it produced virtually nothing. And it took place in May in New York this year. And the only thing that came out of it was an agreement to hold an international conference under the United Nations about a nuclear weapon-free zone in the Middle East, which of course is a very important topic. But that wasn't really what was expected from the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Well, the problem with the nuclear age is that the technology required for civil nuclear power, particularly for the use of nuclear reactors to generate electricity and all that goes with them, the fuel for them, the production of the fuel and everything, that technology is the same as the technology required for nuclear weapons. What Hannes Alfvén, the very famous Swedish Nobel Prize winner, they're calling the Siamese twin. These are inseparable. If you have civil nuclear power, then you essentially have the capability to produce nuclear weapons. And this is a major dilemma, what to do about that, because particularly now, when we're in a process of encouraging many, many more countries to use nuclear power because of global warming, etc. Here you have the picture here of a treaty which encourages the development and use of a technology which can produce, and is likely to produce in many cases from many countries, nuclear weapons that the treaty itself is designed to stop the spread of. So there's a great dilemma there. It always has been, of course, in the 30-odd years that the treaty's been in existence. But in this year, again, the conference wants to encourage the spread of that technology. It was a major issue in the final declaration. And that, of course, was really a great shame and a great disappointment. And it's almost impossible to see what to do about it, because countries are very keen today to develop nuclear power for electricity generation. And at the same time, we have the feeling that nuclear weapons should not spread. And of course, major point of the Obama speech and his vision is that nuclear weapons should not spread. So what we're going to do about that, I don't know. In my own opinion, we've got to face the fact that there will be many more nuclear weapon powers. We've got to learn how to manage that world with many nuclear weapon states. It's going to be extremely difficult. One positive thing that did come out of the treaty, the review conference, was that they decided that there should be an international conference under the auspices of the United Nations on a nuclear weapon-free zone in the Middle East. And this is important because some of the countries that are going to get nuclear power, like Jordan, for example, Egypt and so on, are going to get it or expand what they have, are in the Middle East. And Iran is an obvious example, and even Turkey. And so to prevent nuclear weapons going into there because of the use of civil nuclear power is extremely important. And so this international conference is important indeed. And of course it is going to put the spotlight on Israel, who claims it doesn't have nuclear weapons and won't admit to possessing them. How they're going to deal with that situation will be very interesting indeed to see. Well, the issue of Iran did come up, not very much at all. But of course it is a major problem, because it is the archetypical country that demonstrates what I've said, that they have a nuclear program which they insist is peaceful, it's for only civil, and they're developing uranium enrichment techniques for producing nuclear fuel for their peaceful nuclear reactor. But of course that enrichment technology can be diverted to produce nuclear weapons. And this is what concerns countries. The question is Iran preparing to prepare nuclear weapons or not? And of course we don't know. The International Atomic Energy Agency, who inspects and safeguards nuclear power in Iran too, say they have no evidence to say that Iran is going for nuclear weapons or Iran is not going to nuclear weapons. And this is a dilemma. We don't know if a country has this technology, whether it's going for nuclear weapons or not. It's not known until the political process has decided to one way or the other, and then the evidence from that can tell us what's going on. But we're not yet at that stage with Iran. So this just demonstrates very well the problems and difficulties we're up against in this new age.